Our Europe editor, Armen Georgian, is standing by outside a polling station in central Berlin. Hello to you, Armen. You're very well bundled up. Tell us a little bit about what the latest is where you are.
Yeah, I'm at a pretty big polling station, actually, Will. There are 800 people on the lists here, and we just heard from the head of the bureau that about 30% of them had voted by midday, which is a pretty high figure. So that suggests that we could be on course for a fairly high turnout, at least at this station. So we're going to have more updates on the turnout at 4 p.m. and then, of course, at 6. When we should get exit polls as well. We know that basically there's a lot of people who are interested in this election because of the sort of very big themes and the whole international context. A lot of undecided voters as well, but clearly it's been a very short and sharp campaign, which has meant that people's interest has actually been captivated by some of these quite, rough and tumble TV debates, plus, of course, the constant media coverage of what the new U.S. administration thinks about Germany. So that has introduced a certain kind of lightning rod, if you will, into this whole election campaign and into the interest in actually coming out to vote.
Yeah, and Armen, have you had the chance to speak with any of the voters about what their main concerns are?
Don't talk. Yeah, absolutely. I've talked to quite a few voters actually in the last half hour. So some of the things they said was one young man said he was going to, was voting for a party that wants to abolish the debt brake, which is a political hot potato. You might remember that the actual coalition, the outgoing coalition of Olaf Scholz, it collapsed because of the issue of the debt brake. And he was saying, this young voter, that the debt brake is not adapted to Germany's economic needs today. It's something from another era and needs to be reformed. And that is certainly something that a new coalition in Germany will almost certainly look at. We spoke to other young voters, two of them who seemed to be undecided until pretty late in the day, but both of them said we are basically voting to stop a lurch to the right and to the far right. So they could see the rise of the far right AfD, and they wanted to do something about that with their vote. But of course, you have to bear in mind here in Berlin, young people are likely to be anti-AfD, whereas actually the AfD across the country is doing much better with younger voters than if you just listen to young voters inside a voting booth in a liberal part of a big city. So we should bear that in mind when we're analyzing the results tonight. One other person I spoke to I thought was quite interesting. She talked about the social aspects of, the sort of social spending and social dimension of the campaign, and she said that it was really unfortunate that that issue had sort of been pushed into the background by all the immigration and crime stories, and how immigration, all the crime issues have really taken front and center in the campaign. And she said she'd wish there'd been more focus on things like spending power, price of goods, price of energy, price of petrol when you're filling up your car, and things like that.
All right, Armen, thank you very much. Armen Georgian, Fresh 24's Europe editor, reporting from Berlin.